Hello, I'm Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my latest YouTube video. I'm delighted to let you know that this video is in partnership with Brother, and I'm going to be sharing how I document days out in my journal. And the printer that I'm going to be using throughout this video is this Brother full colour label printer. It's the VC500W model. Now, I know lots of you have asked me in the past which colour printer I use for my photos, and I've always told you this is the one, so it's just perfect for me to be able to share an update on how I'm using this now. I'll of course leave links for the printer and everything else that you'll need to know down below. I've recently been going to a few different places. It's been really lovely weather, so we've been making the most of it, and these photos and the artwork and text were all printed on that same printer. And I've also been really enjoying documenting creative projects that I've been working on throughout the month. So again, that's another way that I put this printer to use. I don't know if you're like me, but I take so many photos and I don't like them just staying on my phone or my camera. I really like to make sure that I get them printed out and documented. The journal that I'm going to be using today is this dotted flex book. And the first thing I want to do is print out some photos from one of my most recent days out. And you can add different size labels to the Brother printer depending on what kind of size you want to print things out at. And I've got the 50mm reel in there at the moment. For printing, I'm going to be using the Brother Colour Label 2 app. I've got this on my iPad at the moment, but I've also got it on my phone. And on here is where you get all your options for things like different layouts, photos, artwork, text, all those different kinds of things. So I want to start off by printing out my photos. So I've saved them in my favourites folder. And I'm just going to go through a few of these now and start getting them printed. When you select the photos that you want, you have a choice of whether you want to print them vertically or horizontally. Going to go for vertically for these two, and I'm just going to go through now and start printing off a few photos from my recent day out. So I've now got some of my photos printed out from my day out, and one of the things I love about these is that they're self-adhesive, so really easy for adding to your journals. And because you get this little white strip at the top, it's also really easy to peel that backing off. Now the next thing I want to do is print some artwork, and I want to do that on a different size tape, and I've got quite a few different sizes here, which is really useful if you wanted to print off text, smaller images, depending on what size journal you're working in. So I think for starters I'm going to swap the 50mm for a 25mm, and that's really easy to do on these. You just eject your cassette and you take it out, and then you just pop your next one straight in. So I'm now going to come out of the photo printing options and go into the new labels. And then here you've got the option to add text, an image that you've perhaps some photos you've taken, artwork, shapes and cut lines. So I'm going to go into art, and there's lots and lots of different options on here, which I love. I've printed off lots of those florals in the past. I think they're beautiful. So I'm just going to have a quick look through and print out some artwork to include on my journal page. So I think I might go for this octopus and perhaps also this shell. I just love some of these. There's little cartoony ones, really intricate ones, just beautiful. So I'm going to insert those on there. You can certainly move them around. You can copy some, which I might do on a later bit so that you can make it look like a long strip of washi tape. But that will do me for now, so I'm just going to print that out. So I also decided to go for this sun and crab too, and again you always get this little handy cut line there. So I'm now going to swap over my tapes again, and this time I'm going to go for the 12mm. I thought it'd be nice to go for a strip, for a long strip, just with the repeating of that shell. So now I've got the shell on there, I can copy it and just keep moving it along. So I'm going to do that a few times and then perhaps print out a couple of strips just with this shell on it. So I've now got those little strips with the shells on, which I think will be fun to add to my journals. And the very last thing I'm going to do is use the 9mm roll so that I can print off some text. And with the text on here, it is as simple as going into the text button, and you can then type anything out and change the fonts that you want to use. So I want to start with a heading. And then this is where you can look at all of your different font styles that you might want to use. You can add different effects with your bold and italic, and you can have outlines, shadows, all of those sorts of things. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes printing off some different strips of text. Well, I think I've now got everything printed out that I want to use on my journal spreads. I just absolutely love knowing that when I come back from trips, whether it's days out, anything like that, that I can always just print out all these different options, and it makes documenting it in my journals so easy. So I'm just going to make a little bit of space and bring my journal back over. Okay, so I've now got everything to go. I just wanted to share with you on the previous page some more examples of that artwork in case you hadn't noticed it. It's got some little llamas, watercolour flowers, watercolour leaves, just beautiful. And again, I just did the copying of different images for those tapes. And when I get my printer out, I tend to print a few different things out on different sizes, and I keep these in a little pot on my desk. So whenever I'm journaling, I've got some images there ready to go. They're just so, so pretty. And if you're new to this type of printer, it doesn't have ink cartridges or anything like that. It is literally the rolls that you're putting into the machine. I'm not entirely sure about the technology, but it works. It prints everything out, so you don't ever need any ink cartridges or anything like that. So I'm going to have a little play around with these and start creating a layout on my page. it was just such a beautiful day. So I'm so happy knowing that this is going to be documented in my journals. It's just, we had such a beautiful spring, so we've really made the most of it, because in the summer a lot of these places get really, really busy. So yeah, it's just been wonderful to go out and visit all these places. Okay, well, I'm just going to start peeling some of these off and sticking them straight onto my journal page. So now I've got those added to my page, I'm going to do a little bit of writing, and I just love that these photos are already taking me straight back to that moment. It wasn't long ago at all, but days just go past so quickly, don't they? So I'm really pleased that those photos are already taking me right back to it. So I'm going to just add some journal writing about everything that we did that day. That is my journal writing now, all complete. I really hope you enjoyed seeing how I use the printer to document my days out. As a quick reminder, so it's the Brother full colour photo printer, the VC500W model. It's available in the UK from John Lewis and lots of other retailers, but it's available in all countries all over the place, so I'll leave some links down below just in case you're interested. For those of you that have bought them and asked me for some more tutorials, I hope that helped just to show you how I use them and include all the different artwork pieces and things like that. Thank you ever so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're doing well. I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.